Alright, hey everyone, this is Remy from the Life of a Song blog, and I've gone through the hard work of figuring out how to record my screen, my voice, and my system audio all at the same time on a MacBook. If you're on a MacBook and you're trying to figure out how to do that, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's terrible. But I've done it, we're here now, we're ready to get going right into how to make a song. And I think the first song that I'm going to do for this blog is going to be a hip hop song. And that's because it's just, I think, one of the most popular genres. I think a lot of people that are producing music on their computers are producing, beats and just music in that kind of genre. So I feel like it would have the biggest audience, to help out and benefit. So that's what I'm going to start with. And so we're here, we're on a blank project in Logic Pro X or Logic Pro 10, however you want to say it. It's completely blank, completely new, absolutely nothing is going to be happening here yet. And so, as you can tell here on the side, I've got no effects, don't even have an instrument, nothing, just blank slate. So the thing I like to start most of my songs out on first, going into it, is usually like a lead. Be it a lead synth or a lead instrument, just some kind of usually like monophonic note I'm going to be doing that's going to be repeating throughout the entirety of the song. And so on this one, we're going to go ahead and click instrument, and on this one we're going to start out with this sampler, the EXS24, and we're going to open up a stereo instance of this sampler. So there we go. And typically what you're going to use this for is to load in your own sounds to sample, chop them up, and just use those in your song. You've got definitely a large editing suite here to use at your disposal, but for copyright reasons I'm going to be using one of the default ones that comes with it in the factory settings. I have some of my own here though, but this is going to be in the factory settings. I'm just going to be using a preset. Let's see, mallets, glass marimba muted sounds pretty good to me. So glass marimba muted, I'm definitely feeling like this song is going to have like a percussive type of lead. So what you're going to want to do is press Command K to open up the keyboard. If you have a MIDI keyboard, go ahead and use that. Just for visual purposes, I'm going to be using the on-screen keyboard, and then right away you can start playing on it. And you got it all right there. You got your pitch bends up here with 1 and 2. Modulation up here on these. I'm probably not going to do too much on this marimba. You got a sustain pedal. Also probably not going to do too much, but you can change your octaves with Z and X. And that's about all that's really important right now. So the lead I think I'm going to be doing for this song is going to be, let's see here. Okay, I'm really feeling that. Alright, so we can actually just close this already. We don't really need that taking up any extra space. So the way you're going to want to record in Logic is going to be really easy. You're going to either want to push this red record button or just hit R on your keyboard. And even with the on-screen keyboard on, that won't affect it. So that's pretty great. So once you do that, it's going to bring an account in. But one more thing before we do that, Command K to make the keyboard go away again. We can just push K without the command, and that's going to activate the metronome for us. And what the metronome does is it's basically going to help keep us all on track and on beat. And you can tell up here if it's on. You can click here or just press K on the keyboard, and that controls the metronome. So Command K to bring up the on-screen keyboard again with the metronome on, and we're going to push R, and it'll give us a little 4-beat count in based on our time signature that we have set up over here. And then we can start recording. So let's do that. Alright, so I got in about 4 bars of that, and as you may or may not have noticed, I made a mistake in there, and that was completely intentional for educational purposes. So we can get this out of here. Double click on this to bring up the piano roll. If you need to resize it, you can do so, by all means. And then we have right here, you can click, with the piano roll selected, you can click Z on the keyboard, and it'll bring in everything that you just recorded. Zoom in on that. So, as you can tell, I started off pretty good on beat, but wrong notes. So what I'm going to do is select all with Command A, and in order to get everything to start right where I want it to, we're going to be using the quantize feature, not the scale of time, quantize. So I have it set to 1/16 swing A. You can get there by scrolling down a little bit, and it'll be right here. And that is about what I'm going to want to be quantizing this all to. And then you just hit Q. Make sure you have everything selected, and it'll all jump to right at the start of each bar. Or not of each bar, of like each, downbeat on the 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll have everything set to there. So what I'm seeing is, since I repeated this, and I think I messed up on this first bar, but starting on the second one, it's actually going pretty well. What I'm going to do is just select all of this by dragging with the mouse and hitting delete on the keyboard, and then selecting everything that comes after that and deleting that too, so that I'm only left with this. Then selecting all of that again with Command A. Sorry, this is complicated. And then drag this back to here. This is just kind of how this turned out. And then pressing Command R on the keyboard to just copy that over a few times. And then if I hit enter, I bring the playhead back to the front and space to play. And that just about got my melody going pretty well. If you yourself didn't mess up on the recording, you didn't have to get rid of that first section. You could have just selected the first section, deleted everything else, and just repeated that in order to get the same kind of feel going out throughout the rest of the song. So we can just press P on the keyboard to make that piano roll go back down. And now we're left with this lead here. And that's actually pretty good. So we're gonna press Command R to just paste that, space it about 4 times. And we've got the lead section pretty much done. Okay, so now that we've gotten that, I'm gonna wanna be making a few changes. Starting with, I think it should be going just a little bit faster. And that can easily be manipulated, and this can work, in any DAW. In Logic, you're gonna find the tempo up here, but usually any, digital audio workstation or DAW or DAW or whatever is gonna have, this kind of LCD panel up here at the top with your tempo in there. And it's very easily changeable. You just drag up on it, and I'm just gonna put it up about 10 BPM to 130, just keep things simple. And now the song will just be running just a little bit faster. And I really just, I'm feeling that beat a little more. Okay, so another thing on the EXS here is I'm gonna be changing the glide. I'm just gonna be moving up just a few milliseconds. Let's see, let's listen to it. Just to give it more of a raindroppy sound, It won't have that hard of a attack on it. It'll just kind of roll in. All right, maybe even a little less. Put that about 10. All right, so after this, we're gonna be adding a bass line. So what you're gonna wanna push, Option, Command, and then S to create a new software instrument track. And on the software instrument track, we're going to be adding, let's do a retro synth, feeling retro. And a lot of good bass synth sounds are going to be found in retro, analog type of synthesizers, like a Moog or something. We've got the analog oscillators on. All right, well, I'm going to be actually pasting this patch that I have loaded up. This part is really, up to taste and style. It's up to you. Not everyone's gonna have the same type of, whatever preferences here when it comes to this. This is the sound I'm gonna be going for. It's not that bassy right now, so I'm gonna lower the octave by hitting Z on the keyboard. It's got that glide on, and it's gonna be legato. So just pick any kind of low sound you like that sounds that way. For the purpose of this song, I'm going to be using this patch. And this also kind of applies to everything I'm doing so far. Like, you don't have to be doing it exactly like me. You don't even have to be doing what I'm doing. Just do something similar so that you can kind of get the feel of like how to use a digital audio workstation, because a lot of them are going to be working just how Logic does. The keyboard shortcuts might be a little different. If you're using Logic, it'll be speed things up for you using them. But you can do all of this on any other DAW. Just to put that out there. So we're going to be doing this. We're just going to add that over the what we have going on so far. So all we're going to have to do is just hit R to record, and then just play that. I'm just hit spacebar to stop it. And then let's close these two windows real quick. Double click here, hit Z, and this is what we recorded. I actually got that pretty on cue there, but my human error, and also a little bit of lag in my system since I'm recording. We're just gonna hit the select all by pressing Command A, then hit this little Q, and I'll just snap everything right to where it needs to be. And then we got this going on. And this last one here, I'm gonna drag out to the end. All right. So then what we're gonna do is just select this up here and hit Command R and put it under everything, so that way we're left with Alright, and that's basically all we're going to be doing this lesson. Before you leave, make sure you save your work hitting Command S, or if it's your first time, you can go up to Save As, and on the dialog menu, you're just going to be asked to put in the song where. I just leave everything in the default folder, and this is going to be blog song, this is going to be the song for the blog, and then just save it. We're going to replace that old version that I have, and you got it saved. All right, next week we're going to be discussing how to add 808s to this, and we might be doing a little bit of automation, which is always fun. So tune back in then.